Krishna ji happened to my life very coincidentally. As Kamal sir was saying that I was serving Indian Air Force. So I served there for 15 years, and I took premature retirement from there. So the reason of taking premature retirement was health. So I was diagnosed with diabetes, ankylosing spondylitis, high cholesterol, chronic rhinitis, and a lot of other symptoms actually. And I was under medication, and I was down categorized as per the defense rules. I was down categorized medically. So so I was continuing with medicines, and there was no career growth left for me in the Air Force. So that was the reason I opted premature retirement. But after leaving Air Force, I started my own research on medicines, whether I can stay without medicines, or is it the fact that I have to accept for my lifelong. So I used to take 10 to 12 tablets per day at that point in time. It's 2012 I'm talking about. Then by 2014, I also within this 2012 to 14, I tried many schools of treatment, like including allopathy was the obvious thing from defense it came. Then homeopathy, Ayurveda, naturopathy, everything I tried out. But largely everybody is replacing the medicine, not confirming the withdrawal of the medicine. Then I got introduced to a science called pure nature cure. Pure nature cure. So this particular approach led me to leave my medicine within 43 days. So 12th April 2014, I took the last dose of medicines. Until date, I have not taken a single pill. So that way, it was a kind of so-called quote unquote miraculous transformation that I experienced. Uh, then I started researching more about the pure nature cure, and I constructed a course out of it, because there is no valid dialectical course or analytical approach of health as per pure nature cure available in India. So I created that and started offering. Then progressively, we started conducting physical workshops. So physical, where the pure nature cure concepts are clubbed with REBT, CBT approach, also cognitive behavioral therapy and rational emotive behavioral therapy. So we developed modules, and we started proposing where these two terms actually came up, emerged through the conversation and all. Conscious inaction, conscious inaction, and also specific dependency. So these two terms, I'm just picking up two examples out of it. Then a few of the participants of the workshops, they connected me and they asked that, have you read Jiddu Krishnamurti? Have you listened to him? Because what we are discussing in the workshop is quite in line with the proposals of Krishnaji's teaching. So, conscious inaction is quite equivalent to choiceless awareness. Specific dependency is quite equivalent to attachment. Then it happened actually. Krishnaji happened to my life after that. And I started exploring, and it was just a wow thing that what we are leading life, the pathway, it's quite in sync with the Krishnaji's teaching. And then there's no looking back actually. We got really aligned with the Krishnaji's teaching, and we started including his videos and proposals, many in our workshops. So that's how Krishnaji happened. So in clubbing the REBT or CBT approach, those who are a little bit aware of these terms, that action, feeling, thinking, the AFT aspect. Anybody can, yeah. So anyway, so I'll just briefly align this. physical, physiological, and psychological. There are three domains of our existence where the energy is distributed. Physical, which is we can see everybody, which is common for everyone. Physiological is the chemical change that is happening within the body and cannot be available for anyone else but the individual organism. And psychological domain, which is not happening chemically, but neurally it is happening, that is also available for the individual. So the natural order of the physical, physiological, and psychological is through the action, which is very physical aspect. Then that triggers some sensation, and that further brings some perception, which is the psychological domain. So action, sensation, and perception. This is the natural order. And the perception brings a change in the action, and the order goes the same way. Action, sensation, perception, and this way. So now, whenever it starts with the perception and brings a sensation, whenever there is a perception and it brings a sensation, there is a loop that forms within, which is the psychological domain and physiological domain, and there is nothing happening outside actually. So it's a same story that we are forming for ourselves and getting some emotions out of. So this is the alignment of the Aribiti approach with the Krishnaji's proposals also, where he in every of his talks he talks about the ideation and getting a sensation of the out of the idea. That becomes a loop and the energy zapper. So our energy gets depleted with its ideated emotions largely, and that's the root cause of all sorts of suffering, be it a psychological suffering or physical suffering. There we connect the PNC approach and all. So I'll not take much of time, sir. So this is what we are leading that life, and it's an amazing journey so far.